Hello, welcome to the Mark Attwood Show, Adventures in a Cosmic Suit. If you're watching this, I've already had one channel taken down on YouTube. So whatever you do, go to the Linktree link in the description and sign up to my email list. It's so important if you want to keep up with my work. It's the only way I'm going to stay in touch with you. I don't spam you. I send nice emails whenever I've got something interesting to say. And today, I have something very interesting to say because I'm joined by the lovely Joanne Dunn. Hello, Joanne.
Hello. Good morning.
Are we slightly Scottish?
Fully Scottish. Yeah.
Oh, fully Scottish. Good. Is that the country colonized by wankers?
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
That's a train spotting reference to anybody that's not seen the movie. I love Scotland.
Me too. It's just it's a bit cold.
I'm going to tell you a little story, right? So I first went to Scotland when I was in the military, and I remember getting on the train coming up from Middle England. It was the first time I got there, and I just remember the landscape changing as I got north of the border, and I got this rush of energy. Yeah. And I was about, I don't know, 17.
Wow.
And we were going to Granton-on-Spey to do a survival exercise, right? And I got 20 lads lost in the Cairngorms in a storm, and we had to camp out at 3 p.m. in the afternoon because it was so bad. The weather was so bad, and we woke up in a pile of freezing cold water, and we had to poo downwind because the wind was so strong that you had to do it in a certain direction. So the poo went that way. That's my first memory of Scotland. Second memory is I took my son on a tall ship and we sailed around the Inner Hebrides, and we wild camped, and people wouldn't believe how beautiful the beaches are in Scotland, would they?
Yeah, no, they're like, you could be the Caribbean.
Nobody ever thinks about beaches in Scotland. It's stunning. It's the most stunning country. Yeah. I think it's the most stunning country I've ever been to.
It's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. And where I live, there's like, I think there's about 200 recorded stone circles in this area. So that it's fascinating the history that we don't know about the place.
Well, of course, and that and we're here to talk about dragons. We're going to talk about Scotland a bit first, because it's also home to the Scottish Rite. And my other insider, well, I did the Edinburgh Festival for years in a row. You probably hate me for that because locals hate people who come into the Edinburgh Festival. Where are you? You're not in Edinburgh, are you?
I'm Aberdeen.
Oh, you're okay then. You're okay. You're up near the oil rigs.
Yeah. Up there.
There was a kangaroo court in Aberdeen when Robert Greene was tried. Did you heard of Robert Greene? He was a campaigner. I met him at the David Icke gig in Wembley. He died a couple of years ago. I only found out recently. And I'm only bringing this up because anybody watching this should go and look up Robert Greene and the Holly Gregg case, because that is one of the things that really opened my eyes to SRA, and Scotland is a hub for SRA.
Oh yeah, huge.
Yeah. So I'm glad you're there because you're a beacon of light in this troubled land.
I try daily. Some people say I'm very trying, but yeah, I do. I try.
So I'm trying. Don't worry about that. So Joanne, let me just explain to everybody watching. So Joanne makes dragons out of orgonite.
Yeah.
And I came across you because you sent one to Juicy and Lucy, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I've sent one to you all, everybody who's done. If yours hasn't arrived yet, it will be over the next couple of days.
You sent one to
Juicy and Lucy.
To me, to Juicy. Juicy and Lucy are the only ones that have received them. Me and JC were talking this morning saying, have you received your dragon? No. She's fucking, what's she doing?
It's been posted, promise.
It's posted? I thought it was flying. I thought it was flying over.
If only, it would have been there much quicker.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it and receiving it. Do you want to tell us what's your story? How did you get involved in making things like this?
Well, I'm going to have to. Okay, so let's go back to explain dragons and how they happened. I kind of need to explain, I don't know, my life. I was born awake. So I was born, being able to kind of see through the veil. And what was interesting was you actually sparked a memory for me when I was watching one of your shows the other day, because one of my earliest memories was sitting on my bed and these big, I was maybe 3, and these big massive heads, right? I just remember them like big heads, and they would come out the corners and they would repeat things over and over again, but they weren't nice things. And I didn't understand till I watched you that these were demons, right?
That's
I
what
just
happened
thought
to
they
me.
were.
That's exactly what happened to me.
They were just like big heads. They would just repeat stuff, and I would just sit in the bed like, whoa, what's going on? And I actually ended up having to change rooms. My mum had the bigger room, and I was like, I can't sleep in there, and it didn't make any difference. But anyway, as I went through my life. At the age of 16, I was diagnosed with depression, and was put on medication at that point. And then, I was kind of shut down with medication. But as I got into my 20s, I'd get drunk and I would start telling people that, their grandfather was behind them, and I would make a lot of people cry, that kind of thing. And then at the age of 25, 26, I got diagnosed with bipolar. So I was put on more medication, and lots of medication. I don't remember 2 years of my life. And I didn't leave my house for 6 months at one point. I was so scared of the world. I took panic attacks. I couldn't even go out the front door. I had 3 attempts at my own life, serious attempts at my own life. And yeah, so 2017, I used to be a beauty therapist. I couldn't be any further from that now. It's funny. I think I've been about 5 people, since that time. But I was over at a client's house, and she was a beautiful Irish lady, right? And I was doing her eyebrows, and I felt like I wanted to give her Reiki, because I'd done Reiki in like 2002, 2003. And as I opened up, all I can explain is, how when you see like a heat haze, you used to see it years ago in the tarmac, and like a haze.
Yeah.
And so behind her was like this haze in the shape of a man. And but in here, like I could see the man, but like physically, I could only see the. And I was like to my client, "There's a man behind you," and she's like, "I'm in my living room. Like, what the heck are you talking about?" And she went, "Okay." Now it's just as well I'd known this lady for a long time. So I closed my eyes and I spoke for like 20 minutes, and I was petrified, like to open my eyes again. And she was just bawling. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And she went, "No, no, 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 you don't understand. That was my father. He passed away 2 years ago. And what you've just told me, only me and my sister know." So I kind of went, "I need to go home now." And I I don't remember getting in my car or driving home. And mental illness, right? I've had this label of mental illness. So I get in, and I say to my husband, "I've really lost the plot this time. Like, I'm gone. This has happened." And he said, well, hold on a minute, Joanne. Could you have made that up? Anyway, 10 days later, I'm just sitting, minding my own business, having my coffee in my chair, and I get this swirling again, like this hazy stuff, right? It's like I get this swirling round about me, and then I hear, "Hello," and I'm like,
Hello.
"I'm your fire dragon. My name is Frank."
What?
And I
Frank.
went, "Oh, Frank."
I love
I'm
it.
like, right, no. Game over. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm not playing this. Like, whoa, I've lost the plot. Go away. He wouldn't go away. And kept repeating something. So until I picked up a pen and bit of paper, I had to write it down. And then he went away. And I'm like, oh, well, that was easy. Okay, that's me. I'm done. 10 days later, I had another dragon come, and they were a water dragon, and they told me their name, and it was the same situation. I wrote it down, and this kind of happened. Now, I didn't really know anybody spiritual at this point, and apart from a lovely gentleman, a dowser actually, and I turned up at his work, and I said, "You need to help me. I'm losing my mind." And he went, "Oh, no, Quine. You're having a spiritual awakening. You'll be fine. You'll be a dragon maester. And it's all grand. And I went, okay. What's what I expected to hear?
Can you repeat that in English, please?
You're having a spiritual awakening. You'll be a dragon master. You'll be fine. And I it wasn't what I expected to hear. I wanted them to say, never heard of it, like you're losing your mind. So from there, I just started getting all this information, and I just had to write it down. I didn't know what else to do with it. And it's funny now because I'll come across it, and it's like I've wrote to myself in the future. Like I've literally been asking the universe a question, and I'll find the book to the year, a day, right, year past, and it's answered the question that I asked on that day. It is just the most wonderful, wonderful thing. And actually, what I found the other day, when I was in his office that day, everything went a bit blurry, and I started getting this information, a download that I know now. And I wrote it out, and I actually found it the other day, and I read it, and I was just blown away. I wrote my future. It's just fascinating. So, so the dragons would come in, and they would give me all this information. And I didn't know dragons were a thing, right? You hear of angels and you hear of fairies. I'd never.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
You said that Frank said, "Hi, I'm your dragon," right? But how apart from them saying that they're dragons, how do you know they're dragons?
Because I see them, but I see them in here.
What do they look like? Do they look like dragons, like we see in the movies?
I kind of see them a little more cartoon-like. I understand now that everything's just energy, and in this human form, we have to label things, and we have to put pictures on things to be able to understand. So to me, they are an energy now. It's not really about what they look like. It's about what they're here to do, and how they work with me, right? But for me to understand, I had to be able to see them in a cartoon like way. For example, my friend made me this. This is Frank.
Oh, hi Frank.
Oh, hold on. Yeah. So yeah, I kind of see them a bit like this, a little bit like that.
Do you know what's really interesting about that is that when I first did ayahuasca, it's kind of like you get taken through a gate.
Okay.
And there's this character that takes you through the gate, and you can't actually see. Every time you look at him, he moves out of your eye line, right? And he's got like spring legs, and it looks a little bit like a cartoon character. You can't quite. I couldn't quite draw it if I needed to, and it's really interesting because there's a lot of cartoonish stuff that happens when you go into this other dimension with ayahuasca. So, and the other thing I want to tell you is that I look at the clouds a lot, and the clouds literally talk to me and change shape, and they tell me stories. And there's a lot of dragons I see in the clouds.
Yeah.
So, maybe we're both a couple of nutters. Have you got any medication spare?
Perhaps. I came off it years ago, unfortunately.
Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, they helped me. I went through this awakening in 2017. I actually found myself at the doctor. I didn't even know why I was there. And I ended up telling her everything. And I'm like, you're going to get sections. Shut up. But I ended up coming off it.
How long ago did this happen, Joanne?
So 2017, October.
That's when Frank started talking to you.
Yeah. That's when it all started, and it's been so rapid.
I just love the fact that his name is Frank.
I know. They're the funniest names, and you know what? They have the most wicked sense of humor. So what happened was I started connecting to these dragons, and then I realized, I was like, does everybody have a dragon? And so I would like tune in. All I believe that happened to me was my frequency raised. So that's how I'm able to tune into this energy, right? Because it's just energy. And I found that I could I could draw them. So I started off drawing them for people, and then I would get a little message for them. So I would introduce people to dragons, and it was the coolest thing. because they're so protective and they're just beautiful. People have got the wrong idea sometimes, I think, of what they are. And like, I can only speak of my own personal experience, my own, this is my truth and my perspective. But certainly for me, that they're like the most loving. They're so loyal. Some of them can be quite dog-like, actually. Wagging their tails. Maybe I am crazy. I don't know.
And what's interesting about this is, have you watched the Abracadabra videos? You must have done.
Yes, yeah.
When Juicy and Lucy talked about the dragons, and they talk about them being gorgeous and loving and very similar story.
Yeah. And as I say, it's just energy, so it's like it's just love. And I believe the dragons are here just now to clear this ascension path. So I work with them. I do a lot of things. I do grid work. I clear with the dragons. The dragons are here to clear the shit, right? In fact, I put my Ghostbuster. Oh, I can't.
Oh,
yeah. We
like
do a little
that.
bit. We do a little bit of Ghostbusting.
Who are you gonna call?
Who are you gonna call? Busting makes me feel good.
Yeah, I love this sound.
So yeah, I mean, I believe they're here to
Never cross the streams.
Don't do it.
We used to do that as a joke in the toilets when because men be like,
really?
Yeah. When we a few jakes who could pee the highest and then never cross the streets. That's
Thank you for that. Thank you for that
insight. Nobody needed to know that, did they?
No, but I'm glad. I mean, I feel like having a little bit of an insight on what goes on there. Thank you, Mark. That's okay. Awesome.
It's just for the ladies, that one.
Thank you. Yeah. So I mean, I believe they're here to clear the way, for New Earth. I also believe they were part of the creation of Earth. So if they're part of creation, they can also be part of destroying what has maybe distorted the world,
Mm.
So there's all different kinds of dragons, and everybody. I know that I've worked with them in the past now, and the further I've gone on my journey, and I've kind of, a lot of lifetimes, Lemuria, Atlantis. I worked with them. I have about 18 maybe that I work with
really
closely now. Yeah.
What are they all called? Frank?
Dragons can be a little bit funny about having their name, because what happens with Frank's okay because I talk about him all the time, but if you have a being or entity's name and you call it 4 times, universal law is they have to appear in front of you.
Oh, it's 4. I thought it was 3.
Yeah, funny you're taught is 3, right?
Yeah, that's the Hollywood version.
Always 4.
All right, so we don't mention their names because it's a bit of a.
I mean, let me just.
No, you don't. You don't have to. I don't want you.
I mean, a lot of them have. Some of them have like really dragony names.
Like what?
I don't know.
Tell me one that's like a name, because I'm just interested. By the way, there's a children's book, a TV series, and a movie in everything that you're talking about. No, you haven't thought about that. No, not having that one.
No. What? I don't know what you're talking about.
You've got to write a children's book about all these dragons.
Oh, I got to. Oh. Because I'm not very practical.
Kids love dragons.
I know, but I have 3D issues. I find I find I'm not a practical person. Ask anybody. I can banish a demon and clear an area.
I know that because my dragon hasn't turned up yet.
Well, you see,
it's probably in the boot of your car.
Do you want me to show you the postal? I have posted it. I mean, it was earlier this week, but it's been posted.
This is interesting. How do you run your life? I mean, this is interesting because I do as well. Right, I find it really hard if I have to do something like post a letter. I'm like, oh god, this is so boring, and it's just like a real drag to do it, and then I have to ping back and come and do interviews like this where I feel all giddy.
I think, well, this is my life. Like this is my life. I
know.
I feel like I'm in like an episode of Charmed every day. Like that's kind of the only way that I can explain it. And I don't have much interaction with the other world. I'll be honest. I don't really.
So
I
what
don't
does
really interact.
what does Joanne's day look like then? If in the world of the dragon, do I call you? I called you the dragon woman on this. I wanted to call you the dragon lady, but then I realized that might piss you off. So I don't know. It's quite cool.
I've been called a lot worse.
Yeah, so have I. But it's what's the life of a dragon woman like? What does it look like?
Well, I get up early in the morning and I go outside and I sage. I sit and I connect into my higher self, and I sage every day. I clear my space every day. I ground. I clear my energy. I protect. You know, once I've seen to my son, he goes away. I jump in cold water. I've got a cold water tub. I jump in there for 10 minutes and meditate. I've actually ordered one of I have copper pyramids all over the place, but I've actually ordered a couple of Charlie's pyramids because I want to put one over my cold
I've got to
water.
do this. This has been bringing the fairies into my life. They've been coming in. It's mental.
They're awesome.
They're unbelievable.
Just look out for pixies. They'll hide your keys and stuff, but the fairies are good.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are a bit cheeky. They kind of they run around.
They poke you and stuff, but they'll pull your head and
tap me on the back to wake me up, and then they run around the room hiding.
Yeah.
Really, and you know, I was talking to somebody about this last night, and I was going, "I'm actually a bloke talking about fairies. I can't believe it." It's amazing, though, isn't it? It's amazing. You know, when it's like when I listen to you talk, and you go, you know, obviously I'm completely bonkers, and there's Frank the dragon talking to me, and I'm on YouTube now talking to you about it. And you go back 10 years, and I'd have been like, "What are you doing?"
Same, exactly the same.
But it's amazing.
And I say that to everybody. Yeah.
And how do you explain it? Because it's real.
It is
and it's
real.
like, how do you explain that? And, you know, I try to explain it to my kids. They just look at me like this. That has gone.
I think, like, my lovely husband. I mean, we've been together. I don't know. Ask him 20 odd years or something, and he's obviously been through this. He's still here. I know.
Some fella.
And he's went from being like, this is just shit, to like, absolutely, he can't deny it because he's witnessed everything and he's seen the change in me. He's seen the change in everything, you know, absolutely everything, because this is, you know, it's our life now. He doesn't really have a choice, you know, it's our life. And so, but I see him elevating, because I think as you lift, this is all about lifting our frequency, right? This is all about embodying our higher selves and stepping into our true power and who we really are. And I get really excited about that. I'm really passionate about it. But as you, and I'm just getting goosebumps talking about it, as you elevate and as you are working on yourself, and you know, you're open to this, all I do is flow every day now, you know, and I have to trust the information I get, because I've been given too much proof. I don't ask anymore. You know, I know my heart, and I know what feels right, and I know what doesn't feel right. And that's just, you know, you can't provide people evidence of this stuff. They can only experience it themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and so you know, as I elevate, he's elevating. You know,
Wow.
it's a beautiful thing. It really is.
So you get out the cold water.
Oh, sorry, get the cold water. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. You do Wim Hof breathing, like all that.
I tried it.
Yeah, I tried it. It's hard to keep up.
I like to jump in the sea if I can. I do go down to the North Sea, and I'm doing that tomorrow morning actually for the equinox that's coming in. That's how I'm celebrating the equinox. Yeah.
Joanne, I just remembered you put up a video on the beach showing something, didn't you? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a few months ago. Have you got that video on your computer?
No, it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Should we show people it, because it's quite interesting?
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. I'm speaking light language, and I'm really getting pushed out my comfort zone right now. Yeah, go for it.
Good. What do I search for on YouTube?
So it's pyramid. Let me go. It's Pyramid Journey Through Ascension is my YouTube channel. Let me see what the actual video is called, because I don't remember.
Your YouTube channel is longer. The title is longer than mine.
Yeah, I like to confuse people.
Here we go. Let's get you some
Have we got it?
subscribers. Go and subscribe to this channel. I'm just going to find the video. Was it the web plasma caught on live feed?
That's
that
it.
one?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, I'm just going to pull it up and then I'll share it because I really enjoyed this video.
I get Frank to do a little dance while you're doing that. Like, just entertain people.
That's good. I like that.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks, Frank. Right, let's watch this.
Just be open to receive. If you wish to receive these light codes to anchor you into your highest timeline, I give you this with love. And the rainbow light ascension. Kunush nikanahi lakamatawana kanakai. Kunu tunu mutu. Hina hatishna lakahila manatai. Kunu tushkatuna matkanahiha lakaya tishkai. Hutunu pulu humutushki. Hilana hatamanaha hiwayaka. Hitana. Hutulamanaha tishka. Hilaka nakataka kish tukutukai. Hanamana. Hanamana tishna. Hunu tu tushuki galalakita nakai. Hunu utushkama hilanaka. Just take a nice deep breath in. Just allow that energy to flow into your DNA. Open your heart. And now the sun, let's take in these light codes over here. Whoa, what is that? Do you see that, guys?
Whoa.
Do you see that? Tell me you see that.
I see
Holy
it.
toot. Can somebody screenshot it? I've had this once before. Yeah. Be open to receive. Utushnikanichana hanatila matatukutu. Ututukunakatishkala hanatika matatukutushkai. Hunukutushkanaka hila hanatishkaka. Hutuputukutushi hilamanakanat tanatakatishkakakitikai. Hunutulu tukuku hinalakatatishk. Hunamanakatishkakamatukuku. Hutushnikanaknahi. Hilamanakata tatakata takata kamatikikuku. Hilaha. Hinakata tataka. Hinaha lakanatishta kakatishta kakala kamatishka kuwaya kanakara hakatishka kai. Hutukush kulamanakai nakatishta karak kot kikat karakai.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool, huh?
I remember watching that going, I got it then.
And we're live. Way!
Hey, what's that? Oh, hang on.
Hello, everybody.
What the hell is
And
that? Oh, hang on.
welcome
Sorry.
to the
Sorry.
Skumba live stream.
Can you tell I don't know what I'm doing yet on this new software?
I never know what I'm doing. I think you're doing great.
Thanks. It's called blagging it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah.
So even there watching that, I got this amazing energy, right? And the plasma is just amazing. And obviously you watch Gina's channel, Gina Marie Colvin Hill as well. And the other thing is the what you're saying, how does that just come to you?
Yeah, and I'm still really uncomfortable with it because it's just weird, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, when my kids were little, I used to talk exactly the same to them. I would go like, I'd have a whole conversation, right?
Yeah.
And it made complete sense to me, and it made sense to them.
Mm.
I did it to them now; they just tell me to shut up. But that's speaking in tongues, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, what I believe it to be now is just a language of my soul. I believe we're multidimensional, beings, and I believe we actually have higher selves in all different dimensions. And I understand now that this language comes from my seventh dimensional version of myself. It's her language, but what this language can do, everything's vibration, right? And so yes, now I can kind of translate what, in fact, I was translating there what was being said, because I've watched that, but I always mute it. I won't listen to myself back. So what was really interesting is I was hearing that and I'm like, whoa, is that what I'm saying? That was pretty interesting.
What were you saying?
Well, I could tell you now, I would have needed to write it down. It was just translating so quickly in my head.
Wow.
But it's about vibration as well. It's about the vibration. And I was laughing at the last one because the vibration of the energy that was coming in, I couldn't keep up with what was coming out. So because it was just coming down so quickly. It's like light codes, and they stream down and they're translated. The vibration is translated, and it does all sorts of wonderful things, and most people will just experience the tingles, but I believe it helps activate DNA, and it really helps bring in these different versions of yourselves. And I think that's where the kind of dragons came from, because as I brought in, online, the seventh dimensional version of myself, that's kind of where the dragons came from. And I believe, you can pull in these different versions of yourself, and they all have different gifts. It's wonderful. It's fascinating.
That's amazing. Everything you just said makes complete sense to me.
Good.
Yeah. Which cracks me up. Because there's a version of me sat over here going, "What are you doing? You're on YouTube talking about dragons to a woman."
Yeah.
And then it's really funny. I love it. I love this existing in all these different modes.
It's wonderful. Isn't it wonderful?
It's so much fun.
And that's what makes it so exciting. Like, there's this, within the spiritual community, there can be this real seriousness.
I know.
And it just doesn't need to be that. But it just doesn't need to be that way, And people say, "Oh, you're a breath of fresh air, and I love your energy." And I'm like, but what? There isn't. You don't have to be serious. I deal with a lot of dark stuff. I can't be serious.
Well, that's my whole point, right? People are like, "Why are you swearing? Why are you laughing? Kids are dying." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but the thing is, if we don't laugh our way through this, what are we going to do?
We're never going to get through it. We're never going to get through it."
Exactly. And I've always been mischievous, right? Like, since I was a little boy, my nickname at school was Trouble. I was always being sent out of class. I was always showing my willy under the table to the girls. I mean, that's
well, you'll get in trouble for that now.
Nothing has changed, right? And that's what I think everybody's got to do, because all this, I just don't do serious, really.
Sorry, my higher self was giving me a word there. I don't really understand it. Oberon. Does the word Oberon mean anything to you? Oberon.
Yes.
Oberon.
Yes.
It does.
Yes.
What's it mean?
I don't know, but I know it.
Okay. She just gave me Oberon.
That's really interesting, because it's one of those words. It triggered something in me, and I can't place it. But it's like when I did a past life regression, and I was first starting my other channel with Gordon in Spain, and this word Artemis came to me. Right, that was my name in Arcturia, wherever blue aliens live, and I thought I was just making it all up. And then I got an email like 10 minutes after I finished the call saying, your new it was like from one of those clothing websites where they choose your clothes for you, like a personal shopper, and the name of my personal shopper was Artemis.
I love it.
And then I was like, and then I kept saying Artemis everywhere. And then I started, so Oberon is one of those words. It's triggered something from way back.
Okay.
I'm going to have to come back to you on what it means. When it will hit me later, and I'll email you.
Okay. Yeah, she just gave me that. Oberon. So I just wrote it down and gave you. It means nothing to me.
So, right. So look, 3 years ago, there you are. I presume you had a job and you were like all 3D and stuff. Were you?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever really fully been grounded in the physical.
I can tell you kind of 3D, but
I've just kind of floated.
What I mean is, you probably went and did like normal shit, right?
Yeah.
And then suddenly Frank talks to you. Then all these things open up.
Yeah.
How have you used the dragon energy to help people?
Okay, so what happened was I stopped working, not because of this, just because it was hard logistics with my son, and so we only had one income coming in, and I dropped him off one day at nursery, and I sat on my glasses and I broke my glasses, and I couldn't afford. I didn't have any money to buy glasses, right? So I had this. I was shouting and screaming at the universe. I'm like, if you want me to do this, you're gonna have to sort this out, because I just can't do this anymore. And if you want me to help people, you're just gonna. Anyway, I spent a whole day just bawling, yelling, and shouting. And the next day, my neighbor sent me over the wall. She went, I think you should go and set up a healing center. In fact, I've just drove by the place up the road, and they're to let. Why don't you go and see them? And within 2 weeks, I was in this building, and I thought I was going to be doing a little bit of Reiki and a little bit of crystals, and what happened was so much more than that. And I realized I could tune into people, and I could tune into their energy, and I knew what was wrong with them, and I could see all these things attached to them and move these things. And so the dragons came in, and I would clear people's homes for them, and clear people's energies, remove stuff, and it's the dragons that, they kind of travel and they do the clearing. And I believe healing is something that we really need to do within, Mark. You can go and please don't shoot me if you're a Reiki practitioner. I'm sorry, this is just my truth. Okay, a lot of people don't like this. They don't.
Oh, hang on. I think I know what you're going to say. Because I think I said the same thing when I did my Reiki too.
Okay.
You go first.
I believe it's I believe everything is intention, first of all. So let me say that, okay? A lot of people have very good intention. This is no judgment on anybody. I'm not in any position to judge. I did Reiki for a long time, okay? But I think we're in a different. I'm going to try and word this properly. No, I think we're in a different energy now, okay? And things are really fast. Yeah. And just standing behind somebody for 30 minutes wasn't doing anything for me. It wasn't really doing anything for them. It was a band-aid, right? It was a, they're going to feel great for a little bit, and then they come back, and they come back, and they come back, and they come back. And I actually had a client say, I've been going to my crystal healer for 25 years. And I'm like, what's she healing? Do you know what I mean? So I believe, so I believe,
it's a good business model, though, isn't it?
Very good. Yes, it is. Absolutely is. Yeah. And I'm not going to go there. I like to see people once, and I like to get everything cleared. I believe we have blockages, and if you can help that person, I'm all about empowerment, right? It's about empowering people. So passionate about empowering people. There's nothing special about me.
Yes, there is. You are very special.
Well, everybody's got special, but there's nothing more special about me than there is somebody next door, right? There isn't. It's just that I'm lucky that I have found it, and that I've been open enough to receive it. Okay, that's all it is, So I like to, I just share what's happened to me so that other people can go, I can do that too, maybe not the same thing, but they can bring in their gift, and the healing journey, what I like to do is tune into people and go, right, okay, this is what's stopping you. This is stopping you. I can help clear this up, and I can remove this because this has been on you since you were 7 years old. Let's get this turd out of the way, right? Pick up and throw it off you. That'll give you some breathing space, right? And but then I teach people to look after their own energy, because energy is everything. And I was like this big sponge, Mark, right? I went, these big sea sponges, as an empath, and nobody taught me about energy. And I was picking up everybody's stuff, and I was putting it in this big sea sponge. And then I started leaking. It started leaking everywhere because I didn't have room.
Yeah.
I didn't have room for everybody's stuff. And so what I did was I started learning how to clear my energy. I started learning how to ground my energy and protect it. And it changed my life. Changed my life.
Wow.
The most 3 simple things in the world.
Right. Let's talk about how you do that then.
Okay. It's very easy. And it's very simple. And people say to me, "Oh, I don't have time for that." And I'm like, "Do you have a shower in the morning?" And they say, "Well, yes." And I say, "Well, you've got time for it." Okay, so this is kind of how do we even like the word teach? This is what I help people remember, right? Because that's all we're doing. We're helping each other remember. So in the shower, okay. Now I don't wash this hair every day. Are you kidding me? Get stuck up here. But as I put the shower on, okay, and it hits the back of my neck, okay, I'm invoking something called the cosmic diamond violet flame. Okay, now I don't work with it. I don't work with a violet flame because I think the violet flame got a little bit corrupted, but that's just my own personal opinion. The cosmic diamond violet flame is okay. So you don't have to see it, you don't have to feel it, but intention is everything. And our eyes only work at so many frames per second, and we can't see. Well, I don't know if somebody might, but I can't see ultraviolet light, but we know it exists, right? So this flame is exactly the same. In fact, I have a friend now who can see this. Okay, it's very cool. I feel like I'm gathering this like A-team. It's like we've got all these superpowers, and when you combine them all together, it's awesome, isn't it? Anyway,
it is.
So you're in the shower, and you invoke something called the cosmic diamond violet flame, and you invoke it to wash through all your systems and bodies, through all space, time, and dimension, because without getting into fractalization and all that, because that blew my mind for about 6 months while I was trying to work that out. What that does is it doesn't just clear you here now in the physical, okay, it's clearing every version, and it's clearing all space, time, and dimension. Okay, so it's clearing up everything.
I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'm just going for a shower.
I'll just wait. Me and Frank will just sit and have a little dance for a bit. So you do that, and as this comes down, you imagine it coming down. So it's a like magenta with diamonds in it. Okay, if you want a visual. And then you imagine a grounding cord. Okay, so from your base chakra, which is basically what you're sitting on. Okay.
What, your arse?
Yeah, but it's gonna be between your. We call it the gooch. I don't know what people call it. I know the middle bit between your bum hole and your private bit. Okay, so that bit there.
Oh, that bit.
Imagine, that bit.
I think that's called the perineum.
Oh, is that the proper name for it?
I think so.
Okay, well, from there, we send down a grounding cord. Okay, but some people they send down this little cord, but imagine it big. Imagine the whole size of your body. Make it a meter if you need to be. People who find it very hard to be in the physical, like myself, I need a big grounding cord. Okay, I need to be anchored in. And I imagine this going in. Okay, it's going down, down, down. And what it does is, mine kind of clicks in like a seatbelt. So I feel it like click.
It comes out of you and goes down and clicks into the ground like a seatbelt.
Yes, yeah, right. So through all Earth, what you're really wanting to do is, I ground in to the 5th and 6th dimensional core of the planet. Okay, because I'm not wanting to ground in to the 3D, or even worse, don't be grounded into the 4D, because that's where all the turds live. Okay,
is it?
Yeah, that's why nobody talks.
I know there's people who go, "What about 4D?" I'm like, "Oh, we just don't talk about that."
Well, that's where they all live, Well,
2D is hell, so 4D is like, we just got to bypass it. It's like passing go on the Monopoly board. Just don't mention it.
4D is like, well, 4D is where your reptilians are. The 4D, you've got your there's vampires, there's all the dark creatures are
they're in Balmoral. What that's interesting actually, because
are they? Are they still there?
Not anymore. But some people would say the dragons were reptilian.
Yeah.
What are they?
Well, the interesting thing is that Frank is 4D, but he's not. Yeah, he is. You can get dragons in different dimensions. So I have dragons, and I've 4th dimensional dragons, 5th dimensional dragons, 7th, 9th, 11th. Now, the reason 4th dimensional dragons are needed to clear, and people ask, well, why angels? Angels protect. Now, I love angels. I always get a dunt in the head when I talk about this because
I'm
like,
having angels instead.
what about us? Oh, don't I love Robbie Williams? Anyway,
I love that song.
what
Great song.
about us? Oh, I love him. What to clear, right? So again, this is just another kind of law of the universe, Mark. So to clear, entities, beings, energy, whatever you want to call it, can only drop 2 dimensions. Okay, just like we can only go up 2 dimensions. Okay, that's why I can connect into my 7th dimensional version of myself, but I can't connect into the 9th dimensional version of myself yet. Okay, so the reason my dragons are 4th dimensional is because they need to clear the 4D. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why a 9th dimensional angel can't come in and grab these things. So I can understand where there's been this, misinterpretation. And it's interesting that, they slay the dragon, isn't it? It's all been put in there. It's all been programmed.
Well,
It's all been
it's
programmed.
Wales has a dragon on its flag.
Yeah.
The English flag, for any Americans watching this, the English flag is white with a red cross on it, and the red cross is supposed to be the blood of the dragon in the sand after George has slayed it.
Oh, I didn't know it. Oh, I just got goosebumps. See, I didn't know
that's
that.
good. If you walk through the city of London, so there's London, and then there's the city of London, which is a separate country, the same as Washington, you see in the Vatican.
Yeah.
It is full of dragons. There's dragons everywhere. Dragon technology.
Yeah.
So that's a 4th dimension. So they hijacked this, presumably.
Yeah. And that's why we can't really see them, because they're 4th dimensional. And it's like lost souls, that's where they live, when they haven't got, to wherever they're from, 5D is like bottom floor heaven. It goes higher.
5th floor, please. Going up. That's interesting because I had a mentor about 10 years ago called Jim, who I still talk to. He passed away a few years ago.
Oh.
Jim taught me about grounding, right? Firstly. And secondly, he taught me about clearing these souls. He'd spent 50 years clearing. He said his mission was to clear souls that were stuck here. And I was like, what are you clearing them for? And he was like, because we need to clear it because we're going up. This is like 10 years ago. And I didn't understand what he meant. I didn't even know why he was in touch with me, but I found out later it's because he knew something about me that I didn't know about myself. So he taught me this protection technique, which is inside a bell jar. Okay. And I was inside the bell jar, covered in silver, any negative energy, blah, 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 full of divine light, all that kind of stuff. But when I was in the bell jar, I was levitating, man. I was just flying. And I rang him and I said, I just keep flying around this bell jar. And he said, yeah, you've got to ground yourself. And I was like, what do you mean? And he said, just imagine purple rope over your feet, tying you to the ground. And it works brilliantly. And I think this is similar to your
exactly the same. It's the same concept. As much as we sometimes don't want to, be in this physical body, we're on earth for a reason. And certainly what I've found over the past couple of days is these really high energies come in. My physical body can't quite keep up with my energetic body. So I'm tripping up and I'm like, well, I can't get words out properly.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place.
This word thing is really interesting because lots of people I've noticed have been, including me, are forgetting words. Yeah. And that's to do with the shift, isn't it? And that's why the language up there is like,
that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Exactly it. Yeah. So it's important, especially for, anybody that's sensitive to ground in, because we can get very forgetful, bump into things. So the grounding, people can grow roots from your feet. This is just a simple way that, because people go, I don't have time to do that. And I go, yes, you do, because you have a shower in the morning. So get it done. We clean our bodies, right? Every day. We clean our teeth. This should be taught. We should clean our energy.
Yeah.
Right?
We taught in school.
Absolutely. Now, I don't know about you, but when I did my Reiki, I was taught to ground and protect, but I wasn't taught to clear. And what's really interesting about that is you can bubble up stuff that's attached to you. So you're still walking about with all this stuff, and it can get really heavy. It can get very, very heavy.
Yeah, well,
So,
on the Reiki front, what you said slightly different than what I said, because I said to my Reiki teacher, I said the thing is, I've noticed that there's loads of people that channel stuff, but I know, and I said this to her quietly, I said, I know they're very good at deceiving, right? And I just feel like there's a bit of deception going on here, because this seems to me, and I didn't really know what I was talking about, but I just knew there was something wrong with it, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And I said it to her, and she was lovely. She is a lovely woman. But I knew I was right. But I was saying
yeah,
something that was like heretical. I wasn't. It was like, you can't say that. Reiki's amazing. I've been doing it for 30 years. But I was like, no, there's something wrong with it. It's like within a system that we're not supposed to be in. And I said,
yeah.
what do these symbols mean? Why did this Japanese guy, sit in this cave for years and see all these symbols? Surely, what if those symbols came from the wrong people or the wrong spirits? That's what I said to her. And consequently, I've not done Reiki since.
Yeah.
No
So I'm
offense.
a Reiki master, and I have taught Reiki. But I kind of teach it differently, and because I believe everything is intention. Now, what you're saying, Mark, without feuding crazy comments or anything, again, this is no harm. This is just my personal experience. I've seen and had to remove a lot of things that have been attached to people who have been attuned because of intent. And what happened was money got involved, and everything is frequency, Mark. And depending what that person's intent behind that is. So if somebody, there are people out there, and this is from personal experience, okay, personal experience. I was so scarred by this. I can't even tell you. You know, that pretend to do this and they pretend to do that, and what's happening is there are things running them in the background, and they don't even know. And it's like, I see it like tentacles. I had to remove tentacles off people's third eyes, because these things they come in through these attunements, and they start taking people's psychic power. And I would have people say, "Oh, I'm really tired after I've done Reiki," and I'm like, "But you're only a channel. You shouldn't be getting tired. You're just a channel. It's not your energy. You shouldn't be." So there's been a lot of through the ages, most things have been corrupted, Mark. Let's be perfectly honest about it. You know, I do teach dragon Reiki, actually, but it's about dragon energy. It's about, I teach from my experience, and clearing. Again, it's intention. It's intention.
Listen, Joanne, just tell me your website. Because I've got this little thing. I'm gonna put it on the screen.
Oh,
Have you got a website?
yeah, I do. I got like a Shopify. It's
Give me the address.
I think it's.
Oh, you don't know.
It's practical.
It's 2-3D. It's 2-3D.
Stop asking me practical questions. I can talk about dragons, but don't ask me about a website. Okay, it's like something like, I don't know. I don't know how to even find it. Sorry, I don't know. It's like,
okay, forget that.
it's like pyramid. It's like pyramid journey. Like, and then what are the little wee things that go in the middle, like little wee dashy things? Do you know what? It doesn't even matter.
Oh, hang on. Is it Pyramid Wellbeing Studio?
No, that was my old work.
Okay.
My YouTube has it on there. So if anybody wants to go to my YouTube, they can find it.
I'm gonna find it.
Practical.
Okay, so just be open to receive.
Sorry. See, I'm so unprofessional. Keep talking about dragons while I find your website, because I'm going to make sure that we find it.
Yeah, so I'm going to finish with the clearing and the bubbling thing. So when you're in the shower, invoking the cosmic diamond violet flame, you're then sending a grounding cord down, okay, with the intention to connect into the 5th, 6th dimensional core of the planet, okay. Intention is everything. And then when stepping out of the shower, you're going to step into an impenetrable bubble like a shield. Now, Mark, I don't know if you'll remember this, but there was a cartoon when I was little that was called Batfink, and his wings were like
of course I remember
a shield of steel.
Yeah.
Okay, so I love it when somebody else remembers that, because I say things to people and they're like, no, I don't. So anyway, the shield that you put up, that you stand in, is like that. So anything coming at you, and you set the intention for it to be a 12th dimensional Christed shield. And what this means is
10-dimensional.
12th.
12th.
Yeah.
12th dimensional. I'm writing this down, you see.
Christed shield. So what that means is that when you place that up, nothing can come at you. So I see it like, I don't know, say there's like a demon running from that field, and he's like, right, today's the day I'm gonna get you on, and he runs down the field, and I'll put the shield out, and he just hits it like a window. You know, you ever seen them dogs and they like run into the patio doors and they just go because they don't see it? That's what happens. The demons come a running and they hit the patio doors.
I love doing that to demons. And it's like window licking.
Yeah. Not today. You better run, because I've got dragons. Okay, ciao. So much fun. Yeah. So, Cosmic Diamond Violet Flame. You're gonna put your grounding cord down, and then you're going into your. And mine makes a bit of a noise because I like sci-fi, so it's like, whoomp.
Oh yeah. I do sound effects.
Yeah. And so it's really, really simple. It's a simple thing to do. And what you can do also during the day. So I don't know, the phone goes and you're like, God, I don't want to get that. And you answer the phone and you go, oh, I knew I should have got that, right? After the phone call, I invoke the Cosmic Diamond Violet Flame. Anything that's come in, it'll just wash it away. You know, I've had days where I was bringing this in.
Yeah. I'm doing this all the time. I didn't do it last night with Tom Numbers, but everybody I don't need to do it with you, because this is, you know, but yeah.
I have one too. This is the one that I've always used as well. I always have this in front of me. This is a 4-3-2 one. I tune all my crystals up to that. So yeah.
Can we do an episode about tuning crystals? I know bugger all about that.
Oh yeah, I love crystals.
Well, I do too, but I'm a complete newbie, right? I used to laugh at people with crystals, but funnily enough, I've been carrying a bag of crystals around with me all year. He says, looking for it. It's here somewhere. And what's really interesting is they come and go. And I'm starting to understand them. And this is like,
yes.
You know, one of the most amazing things, because I've spent years trying to work out what 5D is and all of that. When I first heard about it, I was like, what the fuck is this, right? But then you find yourself talking to clouds, stars, crystals, having fairies in your room,
Dragons.
seeing UFOs all the time, and you go, oh, I'm already there.
Yes, absolutely. It's a different reality, and that's why some people will get it, some people won't, because they just don't, they're not there, and that's okay. You know, that's okay.
Yeah.
Crystals actually started in the March 2017. I actually found that when I held the crystal, I could hear its vibration. So I used to go away and sit with the crystal, and I would hear the vibration like in my head. It's really hard to describe. So some of them will go like, some of them will go, noises again into. But anyway, it got to the stage where I had like 10 crystals, and my husband would mix them up, and he would mix them up, and he'd put one underneath, and I'd put my hand over it, and I would hear the frequency, and I'd say, oh, that's what that crystal is. It was fascinating. It's awesome.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Good.
Yeah. So what's Dragon Reiki?
So again, it's kind of a
channeling the dragons.
It's dragon energy. So
yeah.
I mean, there are symbols that you work with, but they actually call in the dragons. Okay, so for example, there's a fire dragon symbol, and what fire dragons will do is they clear stuff. So quite funny story. I don't know how much time you've got. I could speak all day.
No, I could talk to you all day, but I've got about 5 minutes left.
Okay, I'll leave you with the fire dragon story.
We'll do this again.
Frank obviously it was my fire dragon, and I got really used to him, right? Because he's like a guide and he's just there, and he would just burn shit up, right? So I'd be like, oh, Frank, clear that. Frank, clear that. Frank, clear. It's awesome, right? He's like, oh, look at that, clear that up. I'm going around the supermarket going, oh, clear them up. I didn't really understand free will that much at that point. Sorry. Ignorance is bliss. So I was just walking about clearing people up and clearing da-da-da-da-da. It was great. And so one night I kept getting a warning, too much fire, right? And I was like, I don't know what you mean. So I had a really bad day, and I have a really small bathroom, and I was in the bath, hot boxing sage. Okay, so I'm in the bathroom with my sage, like, take all the bad people from me. Take the world away. I couldn't see for smoke, right? It was awesome. Smoke and steam. Anyway, it was about 10:30 at night. My little boy was maybe about 2 at the time. I wasn't thinking, I didn't have a window open. As I opened the door to my bathroom, the smoke bellowed down the hall. And the fire alarms were really loud. The fire alarm started going off. My husband's like, what's going on? My poor little son is like, So the end of our hall is a really old house, and the window kind of slides up, it's like a wooden window. Oh, God love him. He went, he put his hands on, and the window came down, and there was just absolute chaos. And I took him into the bedroom, like, my son, I'm sorry. And all I heard Frank going was, told you, too much fire.
Is Frank Scottish, by the way?
No, I don't know. I don't know what his accent is. Quite.
I like it in Scottish. It's perfect. Scottish Dragon. This book is really forming in my mind. We're gonna have to do this. When this is all over, we're gonna make movies about Frank the Dragon.
Yes, let's do it. Oh, I love him.
I want to do his voice.
Yes, you could do his voice. Absolutely. Listen, we put it out there now. That's it. It's created.
I know it's happening. It's already happened.
We're in the quickest creation energy ever. That's it's done. Done.
I've seen this at the premiere. Everything.
Yeah. I love it.
Oh, it's amazing. Right. So we're at the end. We've got to do this again because there's loads more to talk about. And I'm sorry, we're going to cut it short. But right. Is there anything I need clearing? Can you pick up anything?
I would really like to tune into your house. Actually, I've been told. Please, tune into your home. I don't need your address or anything like that. I just need your permission.
You've got it.
Okay, I'll do that, and I'll send you a little email about.
I thought you were going to do it live on air.
Well, I can, but I'll take about 20 minutes.
All right, we'll have to save that for another day then. All right, send me your website, will you?
I'll try and find that for you.
Find it, send it to me.
I'll do that. It's already done. It's been created, so I've already figured out the future.
Done.
I just need to done. Do you get it? Done.
It's just good.
It's done.
Good. It's good. I like that.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh, it's been fun.
Oh, you are a hoot. And thank you for the dragon that I haven't fucking got yet. Thanks for that.
Listen, it's on its way. I bet today. And it comes with a dragon in the ethers. So you'll have your fairies running about in a dragon about your house.
Good. Yeah. Look, have a beautiful weekend. I'll catch up with you soon.
Blessed equinox when it comes. It's a powerful one.
So, that's tomorrow, right?
Yes, in the morning.
What are you doing? What should we do?
Well, I'm going down to the beach.
Yeah.
To go in the water and bring in the sun, bring in some light. But your intention is so important. What I feel is happening tomorrow. Oh, get goosebumps talking about it. It's so exciting. Is we're stepping into new earth tomorrow. That's what's happening. We're literally crossing. Oh, so excited. Sorry, I'm tingling. We're stepping into new. We're stepping in. We're doing it. Yeah.
Let's do this shit.
So, it's really important, your intention. Okay, I know we want to live in the moment, but it's really important. What are you creating? I'm creating this beautiful community in my head that's going to come into reality. So be very careful with your thoughts, your words, and your actions tomorrow, because it's a very powerful portal. It's a very powerful gateway. So write down your intentions, write down what you want to create. write yourself a little mantra for tomorrow. Write a wonderful poem, Mark.
Right, you know, I've got a few.
Keep reciting it. And that's what we're doing. Everything changes from tomorrow, you know, and there's going to be a knock-on effect, but it's so exciting. And it's bigger than the 21st of December last year. Much, much bigger. So it's exciting. Yeah.
Fantastic. And that's interesting because also it's the protesters around the world, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I don't know. I've been on a detox. I've been off all social media.
It's the
I have
20th
no idea.
tomorrow. So there's organised
yeah.
protests in every city around the world tomorrow.
Oh, it's got more goosebumps.
That's really interesting. Because I think that's been hijacked, but I don't know. I'm supposed to be doing a live with Al Pasoni and Claire Hocking and Ockel and I can't remember who else, but I'm supposed to be doing a live from the London protest tomorrow.
Okay.
And
where is it, Mark? Where's it starting? Do you know? You say?
I don't know where it's starting from, but it's in London. Right. In London tomorrow, there's a big protest, anti-lockdown, right. But it's all over the world.
I can do something about the energetics of that for tomorrow.
Good. Can you take out the police? Yeah, just get the dragons.
I can do
Frank,
something.
Just burn those police out over there, nicely.
With love.
With love and fire.
We transmute to love. Always transmute to love.
Yeah. I'm struggling with that one, but you know, I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
Listen, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be where we are. So I'm so grateful in every moment of every day for exactly what's happening in the world, because everything is exactly as it should be. Right.
I know that's true, and you are wonderful, and I'll speak to you soon. Have a lovely day tomorrow.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor.
I'm going to go in the sea as well tomorrow.
Yes, do it.
I might take some pictures.
Do it.
Put it on the Telegram group. Right.
Yeah. Love it.
Joanne, we're done.
Yeah.
See you later.
Okay. Done.